Hello and welcome to the business programme. I'm Liz Hay and today I'm joined in the studio by my special guest Pete Evans, Managing Director at Ventas Sales UK. Pete is a consultant and experienced sales trainer who specialises in helping companies recruit and manage sales teams effectively to increase profits and improve the overall culture within businesses. Hi Pete and welcome to the programme.
Good afternoon, Liz. Thank you for inviting us to be on the show.
You're very welcome. So tell us, Pete, a little bit about Ventas Sales and what you do with clients.
Well, Ventas Sales, we work with primarily with owner-managed businesses to help them improve sales, but we do much more than sales training and sales coaching. So the first thing that we do when we work with a business is to actually help the owners of the business understand why their sales aren't growing as quickly as they would like them. We are a partner of a company based in Boston in the United States called Objective Management Group. Objective Management Group have done the largest piece of research into what makes somebody successful in a sales role. So they've evaluated over 1.8 million salespeople globally in different types of organisations, different sizes of organisations. So they work with over 13,000 companies globally. And we are also a partner of another company based in New Zealand called SalesStar. And we use SalesStar's online portal and sales methodology to support the findings of when we do the evaluations of sales forces in the UK. So we've got some unique tools which we use to support our coaching and training which we do with companies in the UK.
And what's the best way to lift sales performance, Pete?
That's a great question, Liz. I think really it's about changing the culture of an organisation. One of the things that companies have to accept is that sales has probably changed more in the last 5 years than it has in the previous 20 years. So often we find that the business owner has built up the business, but he or she is very used to a different style of selling, and the way that we make buying decisions has changed. So one of the best ways to actually improve sales is to really understand what's happening in your sales team. So if I give an example of that, lots of salespeople have limiting beliefs. So we carry beliefs in our head which prevent us from selling more in a sales role. So it's really important to understand what's happening in your salespeople and what's holding their performance back.
And is there such a thing, Pete, as a bad hire? And what sort of damage might that cause an organisation?
Oh, certainly. There's plenty of examples of bad hires and poor hires into organisations. And often as business owners, or as sales managers or sales leaders, we will try and hire people that we like, or are very much in our mould who are like us, and we think actually if I can go and find another Pete or another Liz, won't that be great for our organisation because they'll be just like me. And often what organisations do is they don't have a proven methodology for screening out bad hires. So although we're not a recruiter ourselves, we use the tools of Objective Management Group to support the hire of great salespeople. So to really answer your question, a bad hire can cost a company a lot of money, and it's the cost that they don't see. So when I ask a business owner, tell me how much a bad hire has cost you, they'll typically quote the cost of the salary that they've paid and perhaps the fee they've paid to a recruitment business. They don't calculate the lost revenue they've got through the damage that poor salesperson has caused them in terms of reputation, lost growth in revenue. So you can actually calculate scientifically what the bad hire has cost you. And when we present those figures to a business owner, they're actually quite alarmed by how much money poor recruitment is costing them.
And in your opinion then, Pete, what makes a great salesperson?
That's a great question. People often think mistakenly that you need to be extroverted to be a great salesperson. And at a talk I gave yesterday, I was talking about that, a lot of people don't run around the playground when they're at school saying, I want to be a great salesperson. Or, I'm extroverted, so I'll be a salesperson. What makes a great salesperson is actually having the right mindset. So being a partner of Objective Management Group, we're able to measure people's mindset. So an example of to do with mindset is having the right will to sell. So you need the right outlook, you need to be resilient, you need to be motivated. And one thing that's really key is taking personal responsibility when things don't go well. A lot of organisations we initially work with, we find a culture where the salespeople are blaming other things for poor results. So they'll blame marketing, they'll blame the economy. Quite commonly now we're hearing salespeople say, well, it's Brexit, as an example. So they will look for every excuse. So a great salesperson will have great outlook, they'll take personal responsibility, they won't have limiting beliefs that hold them back. And we say that it's more important to have a salesperson with great sales DNA than it is to have great skill set. But often organisations are looking for people with great skill set. Well, if you don't have the commitment to implement those skills, you're never going to be successful in selling.
Okay, and when it comes to managing the performance of staff, what sort of skills does the sales manager need to be effective?
Well, as I said before, what we do is we work with organisations to coach the sales manager to be a super coach. So a sales manager these days has to have great coaching skills. But what we find in evaluating organisations is that lots of sales managers are not currently equipped with the coaching skills necessary to be a great sales manager. If a sales manager is building a team or replacing people, then they need to have great recruiting skills as well. But they also need to be committed to be constantly getting better and improve. And one tip that I would have for people who are watching is that if you've got sales managers, allow them to have the time to coach and develop their people. But often sales managers are also selling and trying to lead and manage at the same time, and that doesn't work.
Well, thank you, Pete. It's been great talking to you, and you've given our viewers there some great tips on how to lead sales teams effectively. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much for having us.
Now that's all we have time for today, but do join me again next week on the business programme.